Let me tell you about two men I know personally. Same city, same age, they even go to the same gym. One of them has women pursuing him, texting him first, making space for him in their lives. The other one hasn't been on a date in nearly a year, and he genuinely cannot figure out why. Here is what makes this interesting. The second man is more successful on paper, better income, better car, better clothes. He's done everything the internet told him to do, and still, nothing. So what does the first man have that the second doesn't? It is not looks. It is not money. It is not even confidence, at least not the kind most people talk about. It is something more specific, something that operates underneath all of that. And once you understand it, you will be able to look at your own life and identify exactly what signal you have been broadcasting and why it has been working against you. But before we get there, I need to clear something up. Most content about male attraction gives you one of two useless answers. The first one says women are irrational and you just need to learn the right moves. The second one says just be yourself and the right person will come. Both of these fail you. The first turns you into a performer. The moment you stop performing, the attraction disappears because it was never real. The second only works if the version of yourself you're being is actually developed. If your default mode is anxious, approval seeking, and emotionally unstable, being more of that is not going to help you. Here is the truth that most people are afraid to say directly. Attraction is not a reaction to what you have. It is a reaction to the energy you carry. And that energy is something you build. It is trainable. It is yours to control. That is not motivation. That is neuroscience. There are 5 psychological signals you broadcast at all times, whether you are aware of them or not. Women are reading these signals constantly, not consciously, but at a subconscious level, because the brain processes social cues in milliseconds, long before rational thought even kicks in. Let us go through each one. The first signal is outcome dependence. This is the single biggest attraction killer that almost nobody names directly. Outcome dependence means your emotional state rises and falls based on how an interaction goes. She responds well and you feel great. She pulls back and your whole energy shifts. That internal need for the interaction to go a certain way, it radiates. Women do not sit there and think he seems outcome dependent. They just feel something slightly off. An internal signal that says, this man needs something from me. And need at the wrong stage repels. The fix is not to pretend you do not care. That is just performing again. The fix is to build a life so full, so purposeful, so genuinely engaging that no single interaction carries too much weight. When you're actually building something meaningful, you are not obsessing over a text back. Not because you are playing it cool, because you genuinely have somewhere to be. The second signal is emotional reactivity. A woman tests you, she cancels, she gives you a lukewarm response. What happens inside you? If you over-explain, get cold, or suddenly become more available to compensate, you have just shown her everything she needs to know about your emotional stability. Stoicism in this context is not about suppressing emotion. It is about having a regulated nervous system. It means you can receive friction without flinching. You can sit in uncertainty without immediately reaching for reassurance. This is a trainable skill. It comes from doing hard things consistently. The man who trains in discipline every single day is not the same man who collapses when a woman does not text back. The discipline is the same muscle. The third signal is the validation loop. Pay attention to how you communicate, not what you say, but how you say it. Do you over-explain your opinions? Do you qualify everything with, I don't know, maybe, but that's just me? These are the patterns of a man who is seeking approval in real time, and they are deeply unattractive, not because women are cruel, but because they signal low self-regard. If you do not stand behind your own words, why would anyone else? Say what you mean. Own your perspective. Speak like a man who has thought about what he believes and believes it. The fourth signal is identity diffusion. Many men have no clear sense of what they actually stand for. Ask them what they are passionate about, and the answer is vague. Ask them where they are going, and they will give you a goal they read somewhere, but have not genuinely committed to. Women are extraordinarily sensitive to the presence or absence of a man's identity, not because they are judging your ambition, because identity creates direction. And direction creates a kind of masculine gravity that draws people in. You do not need to be extraordinary. You need to be defined. Know what you are building. Know what you will not compromise on. That clarity alone separates you from most men your age. The fifth signal is physical presence, how you carry yourself, posture, eye contact, the pace at which you move through a room. Two men with identical physiques can give off completely different energy based on how they inhabit their own body. The gym matters. Sleep matters. Taking care of yourself matters, not because you need to look a certain way to deserve attraction, but because physical self-discipline is the most visible form of self-respect. And self-respect is magnetic. Now here is the most important thing I want you to take from all of this. None of these 5 signals are about her. That is the entire point. Most men are out here trying to decode women, studying their preferences, their patterns, their psychology. And while understanding human nature has value, the majority of men who struggle with attraction do not have an information problem. They have a development problem. They are trying to receive a signal they are not yet calibrated to receive, because the internal work has not been done. Think of it like a frequency. Some men broadcast on the frequency of groundedness, purpose, emotional regulation, and self-respect. Others are broadcasting anxiety, approval seeking, and identity confusion, and then wondering why they are not getting the signal back. You cannot fake your way onto the right frequency. You have to actually tune yourself. So here is where you start. Not with dating apps. Not with what to text her. Not with what to wear. You start by looking at those 5 signals, honestly, and asking yourself which one is your weakest right now. Pick one. Work on it for 30 days before you think about anything else. Because when you fix these signals, something bigger happens. You do not just become more attractive to women. You become more respected by the people around you. You make clearer decisions in your career. You handle conflict without breaking. You stop acting from fear and neediness and start acting from a place of genuine strength. Attraction is the visible symptom of a man who has done the internal work. The work is the point. The attraction is the side effect. Do the work. If this hit differently than what you usually hear, that is intentional. Subscribe. Because the next video goes deeper into emotional regulation under pressure, specifically why most men lose their composure when a woman pulls back, and the exact psychological framework to stay grounded when it happens. Drop in the comments which of those 5 signals is your weakest right now. I read every single one.